In a silent courtroom heavy with judgment and polished marble floors, a young black girl stood trembling in front of a sea of skeptical faces. Her voice, soft yet unwavering, carried a sentence that would echo across the internet and through the hearts of millions. "Free my dad, and I'll heal you." The words fell like a miracle no one believed in. The judge, gray-haired and tired from years of human tragedy, chuckled under his breath. The lawyers smirked. The audience laughed. No one saw what she saw: a light beyond pain, a truth born from suffering. Her name was Amara, barely 12 years old, yet her eyes carried the weight of centuries, of broken promises, prisons, and prayers whispered through generations. Her father sat shackled behind her, his wrists marked by cold steel, accused of a crime his wallet couldn't defend against. Amara had grown up watching men who looked like her father vanish behind bars, and women who looked like her mother clean the homes of those who judged them. But she refused to believe that history was destiny. That day, she stood between power and powerlessness, daring the world to witness grace. When she spoke, the courtroom's air changed. She didn't talk like a child. She talked like the storm after silence. "You have sickness," she said to the judge. "Not in your body, but in your heart. You don't see people, you see paper. You don't hear truth, you hear power. If you free my dad, I will make you feel human again." Laughter rippled through the room, but beneath that laughter was unease, because somewhere deep down, everyone knew the world she described was real. Outside that courtroom, Amara's world was the kind where sirens replaced lullabies and eviction notices replaced bedtime stories. Her mother worked double shifts. Her father drove trucks until the police stopped him one night for fitting a description. From that moment, everything unraveled. The charges were thin, but the system was thick. They didn't need proof. They just needed a profile. And the profile was him. Amara had watched her father shrink behind glass walls, his smile fading each visit, his hope dissolving under fluorescent lights. But she believed that something sacred lived inside her. A voice, a force she couldn't name. Some said it was faith, others said it was madness. She called it healing, not of wounds, but of sight. The ability to see people as they truly were beneath the masks of prejudice and pain. So when the judge laughed, Amara didn't flinch. She closed her eyes and began to hum. A soft, trembling melody her grandmother used to sing during storms in Mississippi. The hum grew louder, steadier, filling the courtroom with something ancient and pure. For the first time in years, the judge stopped tapping his pen. He felt something crawl beneath his ribs. Something that wasn't cynicism or law, but memory. Memory of his own daughter, gone too soon. Tears welled in his eyes before he realized they had come. The laughter faded. Even the guards shifted uneasily. The air smelled like rain, though the windows were closed. Amara stepped closer and whispered, "Your sickness is leaving you." The judge trembled. For a moment, no one spoke. Then, in a voice that cracked through decades of indifference, he said, "Case dismissed." The gavel fell, not like judgment, but like forgiveness. News spread like wildfire. Some called it manipulation, others called it divine. But those who were there knew it was neither. It was truth breaking through the floorboards of injustice. Amara didn't just free her father. She freed everyone in that room from the quiet lie that the system was unchangeable. For days, the story trended across the world. A black girl who healed a judge. A father who walked free. A courtroom turned into a church. But her story didn't end with viral fame. Reporters flooded her doorstep. Preachers called her anointed. Scientists called her psychosomatic. And psychologists called her trauma manifested as empathy. But Amara ignored them all. She spent her afternoons visiting hospitals and nursing homes, holding the hands of strangers who said their pain eased when she smiled. Some doctors said it was placebo, but for the dying, relief is still a miracle, no matter the name. Her father, meanwhile, found himself a man between two worlds, one that condemned him and one his daughter had redeemed. He started a foundation in her name, the Amara Project, offering legal aid to families torn apart by unjust convictions. "My daughter reminded me," he said in his first interview, "that healing doesn't always happen in hospitals. Sometimes it happens when truth finally breathes." But not everyone celebrated her gift. In a city obsessed with logic, a girl who could heal hearts became a target. Some accused her family of fraud. Others sent threats. She was called a liar, a witch, even a hoax. Yet every time the hate came, she returned to her grandmother's hymn, the same hum that turned laughter into tears, disbelief into faith. Years passed, and Amara grew into a woman with quiet power. She studied medicine, not to prove her gift, but to understand it. "Healing," she said in an interview years later, "isn't magic. It's listening. It's seeing people before judging them." Her message spread to classrooms and boardrooms alike, a living bridge between science and soul, pain and purpose. In the heart of Atlanta, at a conference on social justice, she stood before thousands. The crowd hushed as she spoke of the day she healed the judge. "He didn't change because I'm special," she said. "He changed because I believed he could." Behind her, images flashed. Her father smiling outside prison gates. The judge shaking his hand. The courtroom bathed in light. The applause rose like thunder. That night, a mural appeared on the side of an old courthouse wall. A painting of a little black girl with her hand over a gavel, her eyes bright with conviction. Above her, in gold letters, the words read, "Free my dad, and I'll heal you." And in that moment, across continents, across screens and scars, her story became more than a headline. It became a prayer for fathers still chained by injustice, for daughters still silenced by disbelief, and for every black soul told they could never be more than their circumstance. Amara's voice still hums in the silence of courtrooms and city streets. A reminder that healing isn't a miracle. It's a choice. Because once, a little black girl stood in a courtroom full of laughter and changed the definition of power forever.